Hello, I'm Lee from First Person Safety, and the other day in the first of my Stop and Think series, I posted a video about making a 911 call in the event there's been a range injury or accident. And as I was hoping, that video prompted some good discussion. You can find that here on the Facebook page or the YouTube channel. Chris from Citizens Defense Research responded with a very well thought out answer. And Chris was kind enough to record a video of what he had to say in response to the questions I was asking, and I'm going to roll that video for you here in just a second, and then I'll be back with some additional commentary and some points.
Hey everybody, I'm Chris Cypert with Citizens Defense Research. I just wanted to take a minute to respond to Lee Weems from First Person Safety, who posed a really good question about the safety briefing that we do at ranges and range classes, where whoever's calling 911 is told, don't ever say that someone's been shot. You say there's been a training accident, you don't say that someone's been shot under any circumstances. He raises the question on whether or not that's realistic, because obviously the dispatcher is going to have follow-up questions. They're going to need to know the nature of the injury. If you're already at a gun range, it's probably going to be assumed. And his question is whether or not that makes a lot of sense. And he raises a great point. And so for me, my background, when I was active duty military, I was a Special Forces medical sergeant. I've come up with some range plans and some range emergency action plans and medical plans before. And so I agree with the concept behind the rule he's talking about, but the rule's been oversimplified. It's what I call reductivism, where we take a good concept and then we reduce it down to a single sentence or a single rule without a lot of reflective thought in order to simplify it as we communicate it to people. The problem is that a lot of times the original concept is lost. The concept in this case is you don't want to delay care and the arrival of EMS and next level medical care by making the dispatcher and therefore responding law enforcement and EMS think that someone has been shot in a criminal, malevolent situation where there is potentially still a threat. There was a shooter on scene. Has the shooter been apprehended? And so what you don't want is for police to show up and clear the range while EMS sits around the corner when really, obviously, the scene is safe. So what you're really trying to communicate to responding officers in EMS and the 911 emergency response system is that the scene is safe, all right? Is just simply repeating there's been a training accident the best way to do that? You definitely need to let them know it is a training accident and the scene is safe, but at the end of the day, if you just verbal loop and just say the same thing over and over instead of answering their specific questions, you're going to be delaying care anyway. And really at that point, it doesn't matter whether the care is delayed because they're sending police to clear the range, or if it's just because you're on the phone obstinately refusing to say the nature of the injury. So my recommendation is that you say, hey, there's been a training accident on the range. Someone has suffered a gunshot wound to the leg or whatever it is. The scene is safe. All guns are secure, and the scene is safe for EMS to arrive on scene and begin treating the person that needs help. Okay? So don't let reductivism reduce this concept of communicating scene safety to EMS and answering their questions in the order that they're asked stop you from, to counterproductively actually delay treatment in the way that you're trying to avoid to begin with, all right? So definitely tell them that it's a training accident, definitely tell them the scene is safe, but just a simple rule of like, say this, don't say this, isn't very realistic in the real world. So again, I'm Chris Cypert from Citizens Defense Research. Thanks to Lee Weems from First Person Safety for raising this great question. And I look forward to hearing any feedback on this or any thoughts. Thank y'all. Have a great day.
Thank you, Chris, for those excellent pointers. Some things that I have to add is be proactive. Don't wait until there has been an accident or injury before you contemplate how you're going to make the 911 call. Be proactive in reaching out to the first responders in your area. Invite them for a tour of your facility so they know how to access it. Discuss with your first responders what protocols they want you to follow in the event that you have to make a 911 call and that there's going to be a response to the range. This shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. If you're a competition-based facility, work with your range safety staff to, understand what it means when you signal a ceasefire so that they stop all competitors in all bays and have everyone secure firearms, and what needs to be done in such situations. Also, ascertain whether or not life flight can land at your facility. And if that's not possible, find out from your local first responders where life flight locations may be, or in the event you're remote, you might have to transport a patient, where are good meetup points for first responders that would be coming to save the day. So again, be proactive, put some thought into their procedures ahead of time. I'm Lee from First Person Safety.